Hey there, my friends. Hope you all had a lovely weekend. Coming to you on Monday, October 31st here in South Alabama. And I'm thinking this morning, I cannot believe that tomorrow is the first day of November and we have 2 months left in this year. 2022 has just like flown by. It seems like just the other day it was January, February. You close your eyes, turn around, and boom, almost the end of the year. But today we're going to talk about acceptance of self and others. This one just popped up. I was reading yesterday. I've been on a little hiatus from reading during football season, and I had gotten to a point in Letting Go by David Hawkins. I was about halfway through and hadn't read anything in a few weeks. And yesterday I was a little bit burned out on football by late afternoon. Laid down on the couch and started reading. And I came across this section, which is titled the same as the video, Acceptance of Self and Others. And just some really good stuff in there. And it just really hit home for me. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. So let's get to it. Acceptance of self and others. On the level of acceptance, because of the major change in the way we perceive others, we now become aware of the inner innocence behind the frantic, fear-driven struggles that have obscured it in ourselves and in our neighbors, friends, and family. The great teachers have said that the negativity which we see in a person or in society is really due to blindness, ignorance, and unconsciousness. This inner innocence, once it is perceived in others, is also perceived in ourselves. All that we did was done because we just didn't know any better at the time. Think about that one right there when you're beating yourselves out. The things we did because we didn't know any better at the time. If we had known a better way at the time, we would have done it that way. It seemed like a good idea at the time, we say. We see that same blindness operating in others, and we can look past their character defects and see the innocent child within. That's really some powerful stuff right there, because it teaches us by seeing, like how we are perceiving things. Well, maybe these are how other people are perceiving things. And I really like that way of looking at it instead of, with all the negativity and condemnation. The great teachers have said that the negativity which we see in a person or in society is really due to blindness, ignorance, and unconsciousness. Once we see our innocence, there is an identification with others and a loss of feeling alone and stressed. We are able to see innocence even behind the most rash and apparently horrible behaviors. We look inside a person and see the frightened animal that just doesn't know any better. We are aware that if cornered, it will surely attack us and bite. It just doesn't realize that our intentions are peaceful, and so it flails out loudly. In the state of acceptance, it is possible to forgive our own past, as well as that of others, and to heal past resentments. It is also possible to see the hidden gift in past events about which we have been resentful, including their possible karmic significance. Not all those things that we look at or we perceive as bad or the things we resent are necessarily so. There's lessons in them. There's things that we can definitely take away from that. From this level, it is possible to create a different context from which to view the past and thereby heal it. With the final completion of the level of acceptance, we feel secure about the future and can move on to the levels of love and peace. Reason and logic become tools for the fulfillment of that potential. Another characteristic of the level of acceptance is that we are no longer concerned with moralistic judgments with good and bad. It just becomes obvious what works and what doesn't work. I like that. Instead of putting everything in this category of this is good, this is bad, this is evil, we just simply reframe that and don't be so emotional about it and like, well, this is what works and this doesn't work. It is easy to see what is destructive and what is optimal without judging anything as evil. There is the elimination of guilt, which accompanies all judgment against others and ourselves. We then see the meaning of the statement, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." In acceptance, we have let go of the inner guilt monger that found fault with even our most basic human drives. We can enjoy our physicality without moralistic aversion or compulsive self-gratification. We accept that others have come to their understanding of life and their ethical views in a way that makes sense to them, even if their beliefs and behaviors are quite different from ours. And that's why I recommend to people out there to travel. Go be around other cultures. Even within our own, within our country, we can go find other cultures. And when we mix around, when we're with other cultures, when we see people that do different things than us, we realize it's not all this good and bad, right and wrong. That other people are framing things from their experiences, from their belief system, from their upbringing, and what have you. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. We accept that others have come to their understanding of life and their ethical views in a way that makes sense to them, even if their beliefs and behaviors are quite different from ours. Okay, forgot where I left off. When we see the innocence in everyone, we can truly fulfill loving our neighbor as ourselves. And thus, letting go has allowed us to reach a lofty goal without even the conscious attempt to do so. The level of acceptance is characterized by the attitude of selflessness and service. This results from the surrendering of the negative feelings that create the small self, which removes our identification with it. Instead, inner harmony and peace are experienced as the nature of our greater self. Because the negative programs have been relinquished, there is the emergence of greater creativity, inspiration, and intuition. There is certainty that our own personal needs will be met. Therefore, there's a shift in relationship so that the focus is on the welfare and happiness of others. This is facilitated by the fact that, at this level, there is no longer neediness in the form of dependency on other people, because there is nothing we feel we need to get from them. In a relationship of loving acceptance, minor imperfections are no longer given serious importance and are overlooked. In acceptance, there is a decreased preoccupation with doingness, a growing focus on the quality of beingness itself, and the perfection of our own inner capacity for caring and lovingness. Although negative feelings may still arise, they are less and less frequent and are handled with greater ease. In general, functioning is now easy, and the daily activities become hardly noticeable because of their effortlessness. And that, like I said, just was a really, that one just resonated with me, and it just made me realize that a lot of times that we see others, a lot of times we're looking in the mirror, and when we can understand why we're feeling how we're doing, then we also understand others, and it can be vice versa. If we can understand why others are doing their feelings, and if we can forgive other people and accept how they're doing things, then we can forgive ourselves as well. So anyhow, just thought that I'm gonna stop there. I'll let you ponder the meaning of that to yourself, but I just thought that was a good little share right there, and thought that would be a good way to start off the week. Hopefully I'll be back with another quick share tomorrow, or I might do a full video, or we'll just see. I don't like to plan these things out. I've got some exciting stuff coming, but it will happen when it happens. So y'all have a beautiful day. Love you all, and peace.